Welcome back to The Funny Thing Is. I'm your host, Nicole Birch, where every week I bring you someone who shares a life-changing event, the medicine they took to get better, and the funniest lesson they learned along the way. Today, I have a very special guest. He's a hilarious stand-up comedian, and he's been blowing up all over TikTok and all your social media. Welcome to the stage, Kevin Sullivan.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I've been such a fan of yours for so long.
Bless up. Vice versa.
It's great.
I love it.
I started finding you when you started doing a lot of astrology things.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite ones that came a little bit later was the jars down the steps.
That's so funny. Oh, a couple people have said that those are their favorite. I'm like,
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it was such a good segue into something different.
It was weird. I don't even like, those are weird videos.
We should explain. So there's like different colored jars. Sometimes they have beads in them, but they're all different. And then somebody rolls them down cement stairs and they break open.
I like the way you said cement.
Cement. And how they break open, you determine which astrological sign that fits. And I could almost guess half of them. I am into astrology, just not as deeply as you are. So like you knew instantly. You were like Cancer. It's so funny to me. I
thank you for watching. Thank you for enjoying. Because those, I was like, someone was commenting, someone's like, those jars have signs, and now people tag me in ones like, we need Kevin to step in here and tell us what these inanimate objects are. But there's personality to the way they were breaking. And then there was like the ones where like they would chomp. Mm-hmm. And then I would start putting like, this is how signs break up.
Yes.
And from there, I think I started doing more of like the per sign act outs after that.
Right. And all the dates, like astrology on first dates, second dates, breakups, those act outs are like getting ready. Oh my God.
Oh, you have 10 minutes left. So I'm in a group chat with like 7 friends. All of us are different signs.
Oh,
like
wow.
There's not one repeat.
That overlaps? Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty wild because it's amazing. We're all so different.
And we're both Aquarius.
We're both Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
What was your moon?
What was my moon?
Sag.
Yeah.
But we don't know your rising.
I know. I don't know.
You have to find out.
I literally could text right now.
You could be a double Sag.
I might be.
I'm a Sag rising. So
yeah. So I got pregnant from a one night stand with a Scorpio.
As you do.
As you do.
You know who's not using condoms? Scorpios.
Scorpios. Never.
What's this rated, podcast?
But it's because, we can go all out.
Okay, great.
What's funny about that is only people that get into astrology understand this part, because people are like, well, did you guys ever talk about like trying to be together or trying to date? And we were like, no, we never had that conversation.
God. Did you send this man the second date astrology one?
I should have.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
The Scorpios on second date just asking about like, so do you like cuffs or paddles, pickleball paddles? What?
That's kind of, that was the vibe. But it was like, would you guys ever date? Like we never even had that discussion because we both knew it would never work out.
Okay, great.
Ever. Then I married an Aquarius. I should say I delivered a Virgo.
Okay.
Which when I was pregnant, my friend Carla Delaney, who does all my house charts and my what's the human design and all that stuff, she does all that. And she goes, okay, so it looks like you're gonna have a Virgo. We need to get you ready for that. That's gonna be
Scorpio and an Aquarius one night stand equals Virgo. Actually, the universe was like, you know what? Let's add a little order.
Yeah, because her and him get along swimmingly. Scorpio and Virgo, right? Those get along.
They're in each other's lives?
Yes.
Amazing.
Oh, they get along. And he knows how to. He's really good at like the discipline and like telling it.
My dad was a Scorpio.
Yeah. My mom's a Scorpio. And so like, I know, look at this. And then they just have wild child. Like that's what we come out with.
There's 9 of kids in my family. So they got a lot of
my
everything.
gosh.
Yeah,
okay. So where are you in the lineup?
I'm the 3rd oldest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're with an Aquarius.
I'm with an Aquarius.
Do you have any other children? Just
one. Just one.
Yeah.
And the Virgo makes me want to stop.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah. And I love her.
Yeah.
And she's my favorite person. We are just so completely different.
Yeah. My ex, the longest ex I have, we're together like 7 years, Virgo. And now I'm on the apps. If I see it says Virgo, it's a no. It's a left. Love you all so much, but just domestic partnership is not going to be.
Yeah, no, she'd drive me insane. She would drive me insane. I love her because she pushes all the boundaries like she's supposed to push with me and like triggers things. And she keeps me organized and on time and like that kind of stuff. But also, man, she'll tell me straight to my face, like, I'll draw something. She'll like, can you draw a cat so I can color it? And I was like, yeah, I'll draw a cat. And she's like, that's terrible. You're really bad at that.
That's such a cold.
You need to fix that ear. That ear is too far down. What were you thinking? And I'm like, God damn, I'm being roasted by this fucking kid.
Yeah. That's amazing. Is your husband like an Aquarius?
Yeah, he's a January Aquarius, I'm a February Aquarius. Not that, I mean, I also dated a January Aquarius before and it was terrible.
Yeah,
but
it can be.
This one he's great. He's chill. He's laid back. He's easygoing. He's not into the hippy dippy stuff.
Yeah.
But he'll sit and let me have a conversation about it. And he's like, oh, that's interesting. I go, do you believe that? No, that's dumb. You know what I mean? But he's like, but it's interesting. I want you to believe in it.
We'll look at the rest of his chart after this too, because I want to see where that comes from. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Is Aquarian, Aquarian's also like the gay sign of the zodiac.
I could see that.
Yeah. So even like straight male Aquarians are sometimes just like a little more fun because also because
they're also more open.
Yeah, because we're the sign that's like we are bags of meat.
Yeah.
Just out here on a floating rock. Like we're the ones that truly understand that none of this is real or matters.
Yeah, it's just a simulation. We're just visiting.
So true. That's a different pod.
Yeah. Do you know who Abraham Hicks is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I didn't know if that was also in.
No, not really my wheelhouse. Like I pay
Yeah.
attention, but
yeah,
I'm not really.
I say all this stuff when I tried to explain Abraham Hicks to him. He's like, now we've crossed a line.
Yeah.
So she's conjuring some spirit.
Exactly.
And she's okay. You go to that. I'm not going to go with you. I'm like, okay, thanks.
No, Hicks comes up on my TikTok constantly.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because there's like overlap. What is a life-changing event you'd like to share?
Life-changing event. I mean, this is the most. I had like my knee jerk when I was first asked was my dad passed away and that was like my biggest life. But I was like, I read the rest of the questions. I was like, nope. That was my most severe life-changing event.
How old were you?
It was 2019. So
recent.
Yeah. Right before the pandemic.
I thought you were going to say when you were like little or something.
No, I was just about to say I wish, but that makes no sense. I wish it was that long. No, I wish I had that much time in between, but
yeah,
I'm grateful for obviously I wish there was more time with him, but
right.
And then that kind of triggered this, and then the pandemic like really triggered a drug and alcohol like
binge.
Yeah, like I don't care about the health of my body, blah blah blah. So my life-changing event post that, I decided to give up alcohol completely. I read a book, Alan Carr, Quit Drinking Now.
Yep.
And who Nikki Glaser talks about.
That helped her quit smoking.
Yep. She quit drinking
She quit drinking and smoking, I think, but now she vapes, so it's a little weird. But
Nikki does?
Yeah. Or she did vape. I think I just saw her on a podcast.
I just remember her talking about she had 2 beers and was like, I don't want to do this. Yeah. Why do I feel like shit off 2 bears?
Right.
A friend was like, read this book.
I think she found that book because somebody quit smoking doing it, and there's one for drinking. Yeah. I have the one that's for, I don't know the exact title. It's like unhealthy eating habits or something like that. Because now that I have a kid, I don't drink with my kid around.
You don't?
I know. A lot of moms are like,
one for me, one for you.
Like, top mommy off. Top mommy off.
And have a little sip for yourself. How old is she?
5.5.
Yeah, that's about.
But I have a thing where I'm like, I don't, even if I know I'm like picking her up later and we're having a working lunch or something, I'm like, I just don't want to, because I was a happy hour baby. Like my mom would take me to happy hour and put me on the bar with, a coloring book and be like, let's do it.
And that is why we do comedy.
And that's why we are comedians. And so I was like, well, I don't want to do that. And so I have her the majority of the time. I mean, our custody is a little bit more split now, but when it was like, I'd maybe have 2 days to drink for the whole month, I would go hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, why am I doing that? That's weird. And so I've actually, when you said that that's what you were going to talk about, I was really interested because I was like, I've been playing with that idea for so long because it does not give me a fucking benefit. And there used to be that feeling that came with like a toast or like your first like glass of wine. Mm-hmm. And I have tried wine several times in the last 5 years, and I don't get that same feeling anymore.
Because the universe and the consciousness is shifting. Like,
tell me, lay it on me.
It is the age of Aquarius. Like it is
Yeah.
coming in. People's vibrations, the Earth's vibration is raising, like with all political unrest and like us starting to see all this bullshit and like you know, in
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
It's really hard to, you know how things vibrate in frequency. Like if something's at a low vibration, high vibration cannot
Right.
settle.
Right.
I know that's not like the proper fucking, but
Yeah.
you get it.
Yeah.
Drinking was not doing it for every time I was like drinking towards the end. I was like, this just feels sad.
Right.
All of it feels sad. None of us are getting that like go out in early
Euphoria.
2000, like fucking in the club.
Yeah.
It has like left the building.
So it's not that we're getting older. It did feel like it was something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course getting older probably has a part in it, but I see like, you know, I couldn't even have like a couple glasses of wine. It was like, what is this?
Right.
Oh
my God.
So I think it's just times are changing, in my opinion, and alcohol is like the new cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really weird. Anyway, so I was toying with like quitting drinking for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and I would take 30 days off. Then I did 60.
Dude, you're talking about my life right now. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And so I got the book, and I was like reading. I read a couple chapters, and I was like, oh my God, I already started to feel it had to play to my logical senses. Like
Mm-hmm.
I needed to be logic. I needed the book to be like, this doesn't make sense, does it? And then I would have to be like, you're right, it doesn't make sense. Not someone being like, it's bad for you. You're hurting yourself.
Right.
It's not help. You need therapy, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I felt like it was going to make me quit drinking. So I like put it down. I was like, no, I have a Halloween party to go to. I have an engagement party. Like,
This was me with
so
the
I
eating. I'm
started
like,
a
I have
plan.
Thanksgiving coming up. I've got to eat, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to eat.
Yeah.
I was like planning my drinking around this, like my drinking schedule and my hangover schedule. And
your hangover schedule.
Mhm.
Yeah. I started
And-
having hangovers for like 72 hours.
yeah. And I kept getting like downloads from the universe and it was like, you're really going to want to be sober for this next part. Like you're going to want to be awake.
Ooh, okay.
You know, I kept getting that over and over every time I'd meditate. And I had a really bad hangover. I had to fly to San Francisco for like a one night situation for work. And I felt shaky and I was like, oh my God, I feel ill. And this is now the next day after the hangover. And I talked to some sober friends and I was like, I never want to feel like this again. Please remind me like how bad this is.
Right.
And someone just responded like, you don't have to feel this way ever again. And I was like, you know, when something just hits at the right time, like I knew it, I've heard it.
Yeah.
Of course duh.
Yeah.
And at that moment I was like, I choose this every time.
Yeah.
And then got home, finished the book, and have not had a drink since.
Yeah. There's I remember like throwing up like and I don't like I've thrown up like the day of, right, when you're drinking, like when we were in college and stuff.
Puke
like
and rally.
Puke and rally, keep going.
Because that makes you strong.
Yeah. It was just like I looked back on some of that stuff and then I remember this was like a wedding I went to like 7 years ago. And I was the maid of honor. And like we drank hard. And my friend was there and we were in a hotel together. And she was watching some Lifetime thing. And there was a woman that was going through chemo. And she was puking in the toilet. At the same time, I'm puking in the toilet. And in that moment, I was like, oh, she can't help that.
Mm-hmm.
I created this.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something there that I was like, I just keep remembering that. And that's what's been. Now, Alan Carr's book works. I mean, like Nikki Glaser talks about how it works is like you have to finish it front to back. You can't skip anything. You can't like read out of order. But it just kind of goes through all the reasons as you're trying to justify why you should keep doing whatever the book is for.
Mm-hmm.
And it just like eliminates all of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
Yeah. Everything I thought about drinking and why I wanted to drink, it just dissipated. Like it completely took it away.
Yeah.
There's one part in it I will never, because I was doing a 30-day and then 40 days because I'm like, I don't need alcohol.
Right.
I'll prove it. And he was like, there was this comparison to bananas. And it was like, of course everyone gives up like dry January.
Right.
Because your body is begging for it. One,
Uh-huh.
like it's not that hard to give up alcohol for 30 days.
Yeah, exactly.
And if it is, hello,
Yeah.
you got a problem. But if you were to give up anything else for 30 days, if I were like, hey, Nicole, for January, I'm going to give up bananas.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't be like, good for you. That's
Right.
amazing.
Right.
You would actually just be like, does Kevin have a banana problem?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, and then everyone goes right back to their like drinking schedule. And
Yeah, because then February 1st, I want a banana.
A lot of them.
Yeah. So many bananas.
Yeah. I'm actually going to have double the bananas and really just like drown my body in bananas. It was kind of crazy. So, and I was like worried that I was like not going to be fun anymore, and it was not going to be funny. I remember the things your friends say to you.
Well,
It's
especially as a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
That's why I liked when Nikki went sober, because I was like, oh, now she's at the top of her game. And like she even said, was it on Stern? I don't remember which one it was on. It might have been on Dax Shepard's thing. But she goes, I just knew that there were things coming down the pipeline, like you said, that I needed to be alert for.
Oh.
And that I wanted to be, you couldn't be hungover for.
Yeah, I didn't want one hangover. And my schedule in the last year couldn't have happened with one hangover, to be honest.
Yeah.
I used to literally be like, I love hangovers. It's so hard to even like imagine me saying that at this point. I was like, because you had to like bring your blanket to the couch. I like literally glamorize it. I was like, and then you can just order whatever food you want and not feel guilty about it.
Right.
And watch just like comfort TV all day.
Yeah.
It's like self-care. And someone's like, no, that's recovery.
Yeah.
Imagine if you weren't and hungover and you did all those things for yourself as like,
oh, that's
a
huge.
nice day. And I was like,
because then it would feel good.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be nauseous and sick and have a headache.
Yeah. So now I've had a day like that where I like pulled a blanket I did like my red light mask. I ordered some like pho, and it was like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So self-care has like become so much more amazing because I'm not just undoing the damage of the weekend.
Right.
My workouts are not just like to sweat it out. You know, it's to like feel good.
Yeah.
Build
muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Build strength.
So I love it.
Maybe you're the
I got the book.
Download.
Oh,
I was like, maybe you're the download from the universe that I need.
I was gonna bring the book. I could have.
I almost brought my book, and then as I'm making notes at the coffee shop downstairs, I was like, oh my God, I forgot the fucking book.
I didn't have time to go home.
Yeah. I might get that book from you.
I'll drop it off on my way to tennis.
Yeah, I mean, especially like with like my being a mom and stuff. Like the worst thing you can be is have a kid and be hungover. A baby, an infant would be like the worst, which I just never did because I was barely functioning anyway. But being like a single mom to like a baby on your tit, and you're like, I'm having a bottle of wine. And I know moms that do it and they're like, oh, I just have to have my glass of wine every night when the kid goes to bed.
There's a whole chapter on wine in the book.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm not going to ruin it for you, but it like
should I go to Napa first?
Yeah, for sure. You know, make sure you have like a safe journey to and from Napa, and definitely get that out. And then you're going to read the book and you're going to be like, damn. There's even like at the end of a book, you can have like a ceremonial last drink.
Okay.
And one of the last chapters, not to like, spoiler alert, you have a last drink. And I didn't even take it. I was like, why would I put one more glass of poison in my body on purpose?
Yeah. Well,
and now I'm like, fuck, I would have loved an espresso martini.
Yeah. But we also do like the healthy body stuff, because we were talking about glutathione, we were talking about NAD. I'm
all about like, I'm a car, I need a tune up.
Yeah. But like how inflammatory alcohol is. Like if I drink even wine, even if I convince myself I'm Italian, it's in my heritage, red wine's the best for me or whatever.
I'm Irish, alcoholic.
I'm like, my fingers will turn into sausages after one glass, after half a glass. And I'm like, oh, what's it doing to the rest of my body? You know?
The same shit.
I mean, what's funny is if a year from now I'm like a full-blown alcoholic. And then this podcast airs. It's like, oh, she was so close to quitting.
I'll just send you a clip.
Now she's like,
hey girl, how you doing? I just want to recap.
Hey, I'm in jail with a DUI again, you know?
I'll bail you out.
And I'll give you a book to read.
I'll give you a book and a meeting.
I love it. Okay, let's see. Oh, I already said that. Let's see. Oh, how has it changed your life? What would you say changed your life first and then overall? Like, was there something immediate that shifted?
My drive. Like, I didn't realize how. I mean, I did realize, like, I felt once it's off the table, there's a difference between like when I would give it up for like an extended period of time, like 30 days, 60 days. And I'm like, yes, now I'm going to get all these things done, focus. Once, and like even going out, you still are from like a deprivation standpoint. Like, oh, I wish I was drinking with everybody.
Right.
Once you're like, oh, I don't drink anymore. Alcohol is gone.
Right.
The way I never realized I was the second priority in my priorities list. I moved up to number 1.
Yeah.
And everything else changed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't prioritize yourself when you go to like a party and you're like, oh, you know what? 1 drink. Then you waste it. And then you kind of like, you stepped on something tomorrow that you didn't even consider or think about. You're like, well, you start making those bargains where it's like, I do have a meeting tomorrow, but I'm going to have 1 more glass, you know?
Yeah.
And now.
And even if, by the way, even if you're fine, even if you don't get drunk that night, there's still something where it's like, I don't know.
You had a little haze on you. You're not as sharp. And it took me, so that like reprioritization like was pretty instant. Once I like made the cut and like I felt free, also terrifying. I definitely felt like I was like leaping into the unknown. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God.
And you're also feeling every emotion raw.
Oh yeah. One of my friends made a great comparison. It's funny, like the LA ones, they make this metaphor where you're in a car, and then in New York, it's like a sewer.
Yeah.
But it's like you have all this emotional baggage when you're drinking that you've been like my dad passed away. I just started drinking. You just are throwing all this trash in the back seat of your car, and then you decide to stop drinking, and it's you slamming on the brakes and all of it. And now I'm cleaning out my car.
Great metaphor.
I forgot the New York one. It's something about like jamming a sewer and then it explodes. I'm like, okay, pop off. But I have a vehicle.
Could you tell us something that like, I don't want to say like tangible, but an actual thing that has elevated? Like, are you doing more stand-up? Are you doing like...
I got a manager right afterwards.
How long have you been sober, by the way?
17 months, no alcohol.
Great. So California sober?
I had a couple spiritual journeys in there, and now I'm sober.
Okay.
But it took me a year before I'm still on my own journey with all of it. But, you know, I was like doing mushroom chocolates for like a year because I would go out, have a little, and then be like, oh, you're not really sober. I'm like, listen, a microdose of mushrooms is not me getting tanked.
Yeah.
And like feeling hungover for 3 days. But I've been completely sober off of everything for 5 months.
Great.
Almost 6.
Okay. And you want to keep not doing the spiritual journeys?
I don't know, actually. I just know
today
I want to be...
as Aquarius to be like, I never want to do that again.
Right.
Because it's like, I don't know. You have
never?
The other side of the world's over there?
Well, you can.
I see it?
Everyone is different. Everyone's journey is different. I know that alcohol was my biggest whoa.
Right.
And alcohol led to other drugs that were not, there's nothing spiritual about them.
Right.
It was just like the club, so chic, you know?
Yeah.
So Hollywood. No.
Avalon, 4:00 in the morning. I love
literally.
Yep.
Afters. Yep. Where's the after party?
Yep.
It's like, no, we're good.
Yeah. It's the sun's out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We need to go.
What was the question? I got lost in a party.
Things that you got a manager, like things that popped off, right?
The spiritual journey too. Like you can do like ayahuasca. Like you can do a ketamine with a professional.
Yeah, we just had an episode with Jody Miller, and she was talking about.
I just saw her at the store.
Yeah.
I don't know if she recognized me, but I definitely recognized her. I was like, good to see you. She's like, it's been a long time, and I was like, yeah. Yes, it has. Do you actually remember me? But
her episode was last week, and she did MDMA with a ketamine treatment.
Amazing.
With not a shaman, but like a therapist.
It's really good for like depression, anxiety.
Yeah, PTSD.
Yeah. I've been thinking about doing a treatment like that. You can do ayahuasca. Like,
Yeah.
everyone, it's your own journey.
Yeah.
But alcohol is never heard that being a part of someone's journey
No.
of healing.
Right. No.
And then I healed myself with Jack Daniels. No, that's a help. That's a help. Help. Jack. I don't do voices, so that was crazy. Yeah, I'm a manager. I had like quit drinking. I was busting out content. I had my weekends back. I like had a bunch of meetings to like with different people on like making things happen.
Right.
I got a new job at the time, a job like I loved. I was in the ad world for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I started working on a new ad agency, and a manager who's known of me for a long time was like, who had like hip pocketed me a little bit and like sent me on stuff and like, oh, you'd be really good for this.
Right.
But I wasn't even really taking myself seriously. Like I wasn't, yeah. It's easy to go out, do some sets and then like party with people afterwards and like, you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're doing it. You're showing up for your sets.
Mm-hmm.
But are you a comedian? Are you pushing it off stage too?
Yeah.
And so he reached out and he was like, I think it's like, I really want to, I've seen the work you're doing, how serious you're taking this now. And I want to work with you.
I want to work
full
with you. That's
time.
awesome.
And I was like, great. And he changed the game for me.
Yeah.
Triple Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising.
Oh.
I have a new bit. I'll tell you later. I don't
Okay. Triple Taurus.
Yeah.
That's who you want in your back pocket.
It's
oh my
the
God.
perfect manager. I have a lawyer now too. And she like took us out to lunch. And then I immediately was like, what's your
sign?
Aquarius. Aquarius rising, Scorpio moon. So I was like, oh, people can look her up.
Yeah.
Damn, HIPAA violation for astrology. Anyway, I was like, that's the perfect, like a perfect big 3 for a lawyer.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's the same as mine, except for I'm a Sag rising performer and
So
she's an Aquarius rising. Big picture. Great.
Good balance.
But yeah, triple Taurus manager. Hello.
What's your goal with socials?
My goal,
like goal with socials or stand up, like what's next? What are you trying to do now?
I mean, I'm of course always trying. We're always just trying to like push the number, like, you know, increase our following. But like, I also like, I'm really happy with my socials and like the growth and the way they track, because it's felt like community building and not just like a couple of videos that like pop me off, and now I have all these like random people that have to like learn who I am and then potentially fall off.
Right.
Like I have a really
loyal.
I announced a Portland show. In a slew of shows, Portland sold out in like days. Like it was so fast. And I was like kind of still shocked by it.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, that feels good.
Right.
That's nice. Because if
I'd be really excited to see your astrology bleed into the stand-up.
It's mostly the crowd work part, just because it's going to change based on who's in the crowd.
Right.
You can get a mix of like the energy in the room. I had a show when it was like all Leos up front.
Ooh, okay.
And I just like ripped into all of them at once, being like, you guys are just trying to like spotlight adjacent. Like they're just like, and the whole crowd could get on board, even if they didn't know astrology. I just ripped these people from me.
Well, I was going to say, you even like people that just barely even know their own sign.
Yeah.
Like there's still people that I've seen comment on your pages and stuff that are like, that are probably at my level where they know a little bit more, but not as much as you do. And you're so quick with it because you are so knowledgeable in it. You can just fire back with whoever's in the audience. But then the people in your comments, there's people that are like, oh, yep, dated an Aquarius. This is exactly how he treated me. Like it's just.
There's like people who don't know astrology here. I'm probably in the middle too. It's just like I mix it with comedy. Right. Comedy is more my specialty. Astrology is like a love of mine.
Did you do one with toilet flushing?
I did the toilets that will like move and they like crash into each other.
Yes, that's the one. And I was like, also fucking brilliant, dude.
Really on the roll. And then I would talk about 2 signs in their relationship.
Yeah.
But then there's astrologer. Like there's some big ass astrologers on TikTok like doing the work.
Yeah.
And I've had some of them message me and like, love your stuff. Really spot on like for energies. Of course, people just take it as their sun signs.
Right.
I could talk about this all day.
I know.
When a lot of them, it's like, okay, it should be like your Mars placement or your Venus placement. So the ones that know can place it, and everyone else is just like, I'm such a Virgo, and it's like, it's actually your Saturn's fucking in Aquarius, and that's why.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But yeah, I have a whole thing with it, and because there was an astrologer the other day too that commented, it was like, Capricorns are absolutely not like this. And I went to their page and they're like a healer, but then they're also like trying to do gain more followers on TikTok by stuff like that. And I was like, oh, never mind.
You're spread too thin, my friend.
Yeah,
you're like
that's
all over
not,
the map. Mm-mm.
That's not. And also, they're supposed to just be funny.
Do you get any trolls? I mean, I feel like you have content that, like with Nurse Rachel, I get very few, except the people that are like, that's a HIPAA violation. I'm like, you spelled HIPAA wrong, idiot. like, do you? I feel
that's like a HIPAA violation. You were like commenting on Mudang. I love that little hippo.
But I love the little hippo. I don't think you would get anything.
Yeah, I mean, they can't really troll it. Like people troll it as like, you're so wrong about that.
Yeah,
you're so
like,
wrong. I'm
whatever.
Like, well, it's a made up scenario.
It's a made up thing. Like, so like, what are we?
I'm writing for the energy that I feel each sign is. So it's
perception.
Yeah. So actually, they're 100% correct because they're my brain and my POV on the signs.
Right.
So I don't really care. I grew up a lot of my following in the beginning by just like shooting the shit. I would make 12 videos a day.
Yeah.
I was wild. Someone should have taken my phone away. Lots of hangover content.
Okay.
My first viral video was the feeling you get when you're hungover and you need a McDonald's Coke. Truly.
Oh my God. I think I remember that one.
It was just me. It was music and turning. I was like, hangover content. It's whatever. But I used to get a lot of trolls too, because I also would stitch like bigots that were talking about guys getting their nails painted and like sissies in America. And I would stitch them. I would also go through their shit, screenshot, and I'd be like, this. And they were like, I loved my reads. They were really fun.
Yeah.
But I would get banned all the time. And then I was like, so once I started doing astrology, I was like, you know what? This feels better for me mentally too.
Right.
I like making it. I like putting out into the world.
It's more joyful. It's more like,
I don't have to comment on everything.
Yep.
But it's not forever.
Yeah.
To go back to your original question, my goal is I want to do stand up with like a splash of astrology.
Yeah. I love that.
And just kind of show up online in a way that's like safe for me and the people watching.
Right. I think like you've picked a good niche to get in there. Did you know it was going to take off the way it has, the astrology stuff?
I always had, like, I've looked back to like what started this.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes your audience starts to dictate the way you pull a little.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like they've asked questions that have like then made me make a video. The 10 minutes to get ready. Someone asked for that.
Yes.
And then it was one of my most popular series.
It's so great.
So I was looking back and I've always had astrology in there.
Yeah.
Like little videos where I'd like make a comment.
Right. I do think that's
so
the interesting.
Always be there.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing that I've been coming up against. We kind of talked about this before, where it's like I've always done characters. I did groundlings. I dabbled. Yeah. Oh, you did. Mm-hmm. Yay. So I always dabbled. I still have the case of wigs and all the wardrobe and stuff, but the one that took off was the one where I'm not wearing a wig. And so now people think I'm a nurse. People are sending me gross dick pics. They're like, does this look good? I'm like,
geez. Send them to me.
Yeah. Do you like green ones?
No.
What? There was one that was like turning green at the base. You're not going to get that out of my brain. Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. Like, does this look okay? And I'm like, I'm not a real nurse.
Yeah. Also, no. And never mind. I was going to say something really fucked up.
Do it. Say it.
Mm-mm.
It'll be in the clip.
No, because then we'd have the disclaimer. I'll tell you
Okay, got
afterwards.
it. Got it. But how much do we let because if you talk to somebody who's like a branding person or a marketing person, like you said, you come from ad agencies, they're like, keep, even Gary V's like, try something and then throw a bunch of spaghetti at the wall and see what works. And when it works, let it take off. And then that's where tells you where to hammer it home. And I'm like, yeah, but then I'm like, I just wanted to do a funny nurse video.
And then you get burnt out on it.
And now I'm like, oh, okay. So the only way to keep it interesting now is to take her on the road. And I'm like, but that's now don't get me wrong, Larry, the Cable Guy is worth $100 million. So with that, I'll be in Scrubs all day. That's
so Nurse
fine.
Rachel would be worth, what's the 50 million?
50 million. I don't like
wage gap.
Wage gap because of women. And
even though she's a nurse.
Yeah.
My mom's a nurse.
She's doing God's work. Oh, she's actually doing God's work. I'm not. Yeah. I'm just talking about it.
I guess my sister's a nurse now too.
We had in San
Nepo
Diego.
baby.
Yeah.
She did go to my mom's
Nepo
program.
Baby.
My mom's a nursing director and my sister went to the college.
I love it. Actually, the doctor who you just met, Dr. Jessica, her dad's a pediatrician.
What kind of doctor is she?
She's a pediatrician.
A pediatrician.
And her dad's a pediatrician.
Oh, now you guys know where to send the pics.
There's that. To that lady.
The green ones? Over there.
There.
The good looking ones?
Over here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so I did a show in San Diego and 70% of the audience were first responders, mostly like nurses, doctors, like PAs and stuff like that. And so afterwards I was like, you guys know I'm not a real nurse. And they're like, oh yeah, no, we love it. The only people who have a problem that I'm not a real nurse are not in the medical field at all. Like the nurses are like, I love that you're speaking on. That's why I did the video with my cousin who it's based on. I did a video with her and they were like, oh, that's great. And so like whenever I go to Nashville, I know it'll be sold out just because like she brings all of the people.
So do you do a stand up as Nurse Rachel?
I'm literally.
Or do you just infuse her into?
We are filming. I mean, this is kind of given away, but we're filming a sizzle at the Groundlings where it's going to be like a live show with a projector with X-rays, and I'm doing like a 35, maybe 40-minute show as her, with X-rays, some props, some, it's a Groundling stage.
Okay.
You get it. And
when is that show? Can I go?
It'll be it's April 18th. I'll let you know about it. It'll be like middle of the day because we're, they got shows and shit.
I got laid off.
There we go. Come on by. And
blessing.
We're making a sizzle so that it'll be like you can now, especially corporate gigs for her, or like we've had some offers and I'm like, dang, you compare corporate money to fucking stand up. You're like, yo, can I get just 10 of those a year?
Yeah, I'll be there at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Doing stand up in a fucking
whatever you need.
Yeah.
Like medical schools as like.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we got reached out. We were reached out by
because they have to spend that money on
they
something.
Have to.
Mm-hmm.
And like
might as well be you.
Come December at the end of the year, that's when they're like, oh, we got this much left of the budget, we got to spend it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
we didn't give these students shit.
We didn't give them anything.
Nurse
Rachel.
You
guys pay for those textbooks. Yeah. Now let's go get some,
God,
joker to
so
come
fun.
tell jokes. It's so stupid. But I think it's like, how much do we let the algorithm tell us what to do? And I'm like, I've been in this industry so long that I'm like, hey man, if something hit, just write it for a while.
It is weird that we start to feel like weird or guilty about those things. But I have a friend that just one, and he found something that worked and he drilled it like every video. And I was like, that must be exhausting.
Yeah.
And then of course other creators are like, oh, it's just like that one thing. And it's like, okay, is that jealousy or is that,
Right.
And the accounts that he has have grown exponentially.
Yeah.
And now he can do whatever he wants.
I think that's what it is. Is it eventually will get you enough financial freedom to do whatever you want.
Because people will be like, oh, I want that one thing. Of course, people want astrology from me
right.
And I infuse it in the stand-up, but I've also now shown them that I do stand-up.
Yeah.
So the audience is also getting used to that.
And it's also growing because then they can start seeing you live.
Mm-hmm.
So that expands it. That's the thing I think with Nurse Rachel's like, once I take her on the road, it's like, oh, it will feel different versus like wherever you shoot, like wherever I shoot in the same spot every time. Like when I'm doing it with an X-ray, it's like, okay. And then you think that I'd run out of fucking X-rays, but people come up with the weirdest shit to put inside themselves. And it's just like, here we go again. Let's do this. It's like, oh, we'll bring it on stage, make it more of a live performance. It'll feel different. But again, am I going to be burnt out in 2 years of doing that? Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, but you'll be doing something else at that point. And also you'll be infusing. People came the first, like I did. So I toured, I had my first tour last year, which was like something I manifested when I like first got to where I was like, we did New Year's like vision boards. And I was like, I want to have a tour. Cut to fall first tour. And half of it sold out. But people showed up and they were like, we didn't even know what you were going to do. We just showed up.
We just wanted to support.
We didn't know if you were going to do readings. And I was like, no, I don't do readings.
Yeah.
Although there are a lot of scammers on there trying to give people readings.
Oh, for sure.
They have like a whole profile.
Do you know who Leah Reddick is?
Mm-mm.
She does the wealthy woman, but like the wealthy woman that goes to, she's redhead, the wealthy woman that goes to like Chuck E. Cheese. She goes, so I took the PJ all the way to the da-da-da, and I found that, and it blew up. But she's been doing characters forever. But this is the character that blew the fuck up. From that goes a tour, goes a comedy special, she starts doing all that stuff. And it's like interesting because I've had a cousin, she went to DC, and my cousin went to go see her because I used to post her stuff a bunch. And she goes, I saw her, and she goes, again, we didn't know what we were going to see. She goes, she had some set, she did some wealthy woman, she did audience work, she did it was like a variety show. And she goes, it was different. It was just like, but people show up to see it, even though they don't know what they're going to see.
Because there are characters, I mean, as long as you make the characters funny, Trailer Trash Tammy.
Yes.
At Chelsea, she's like one of also the sweetest people on earth.
Yeah.
But that character drove, and then she does stand up as Trailer Trash Tammy has her own stand up.
Yeah.
And now a boat, a ship.
Yeah.
And it's really funny.
She was doing stand up with it. Okay. That's great.
Yeah, she does she just released a special on YouTube.
Oh shit. Okay, it can be done. This is making me feel better about it.
You absolutely. And
yeah.
You can Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana this bitch.
She taught us. Miley taught us
how to do it.
Have a character who's very successful and you could still have you.
Yeah. Be a party girl on the side, except after Alan Carr's book, I will not. I will be straight-laced.
It's, which can't recommend enough.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Where can people follow you?
Kevin Sullivan on Instagram, the Kevin Sullivan on TikTok.
Your podcast.
Podcast Two Broke Gays on everything. Two Broke Gays Pod on Instagram.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. You guys know you can follow me at Nicole Birch Comedy on all socials, at NicoleComedy.com, and at The Funny Thing Is. And of course, you can get our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you next week. Bye.